Hey there everyone, welcome back to another perfect pairing with me. Did you know Cosmos flowers have an interesting and symbolic meaning that is perfect for card making? Keep watching to find out more about their natural beauty in this crafting tutorial. Before we get into today's project, make sure you subscribe to the Altenew channel for more card making and paper crafting tutorials. My Perfect Pairings with Jaycee series explores crafting techniques that effortlessly blend sure-to-love new releases and well-loved Altenew favorites. If you love these kinds of crafty tutorials, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of my videos airing on the 2nd and 4th Sunday. To start this card making tutorial, I'm actually going to start with my background first. So this is a panel, an A2 size panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of Sapphire Crafty Necessities cardstock. For my card palette and color inspiration for this card, I was looking at more saturated colors, which is quite a challenge for me. Usually I like a lot of high contrast flowers, a lot of white space. So I thought I'd incorporate a really bold background for this card. And instead of leaving this panel blank, I'm going to emboss it first. This is Cozy Sweater 3D embossing folder from Altenew. It is one of my new favorite embossing folders, and I just really love the texture, the knitted cable texture of this embossing folder. And I think it looks great in portrait and landscape orientations as well. So I'm going to really easily align this in the center of the embossing folder. And after running this through my die cutting machine with the standard embossing folder sandwich, I'm left with this gorgeous texture. I love the cable in the center as well as the ribbing that's along the side. It's just a great overall background for the Burr months. I'm going to set that background panel aside, and I'm also going to work on my sentiment first. Since I already have panels of the Sapphire cardstock out, I figured I'd stamp my sentiment. And I love the Grateful sentiment that's in the One Go Sweet Pumpkin set. For this bundle, all I'm going to use is the stamp set and its coordinating die set so that I get the sentiment and the offset sentiment die. So I'm not going to worry about the pumpkin images in here, although they're very stunning and the stencils are really easy to color for a really full pumpkin patch. I'm just going to focus on the sentiment. So I'm just using this Grateful sentiment as well as For Your Kindness so that I have a nice stacked sentiment. So I white heat embossed the Grateful sentiment on that same Sapphire cardstock, and I cut out its offset die cut 4 times as well as the sentiment itself. And then I also made a sentiment banner for the For Your Kindness sentiment. And so all I'm going to do, since I already know I want to stack these sentiments, is glue down the layers of the Grateful sentiment. And once I've stacked and glued all these layers together, I'll set it off to the side and work on the foreground elements of this card. Okay, so background element, sentiment, and now I'll work on the foreground element. So the main piece that I'll be using for this card is Garden Cosmos Craft a Flower. Craft a Flower is a monthly subscription from Altenew. You have the flexibility to pause and resume this subscription, but of course subscribing enables you to get a discounted rate for these lovely stacked floral dies. And we love the keyhole alignment system if you're not familiar with it already. It just makes everything so easy for aligning these images. Now in my garden, I do have Cosmos, and I planted them once and they just seem to come back every year. They really flourish during the hotter months for me in Denver. That's around August. But anyway, what I've done with this set, I haven't cut out all of the images in Garden Cosmos. I just did the keyhole, the up arrow, as well as this bud image down here on the bottom right. And I cut each of those stacks of petal layers twice, as well as the floral centers. I cut the petals from white cardstock, and as you can see on the die set itself, it's so easy with these grouped dies to cut duplicates if you need to. So that's why I really wanted to make sure I have 2 of each of these images. It's just so easy. So I cut the flower petals themselves from white cardstock, the centers, the pollen containing areas from Warm Sunshine. And then I also cut the Cosmos leaf, foliage, and bud elements from Moss Crafty Necessities cardstock. I cut 2 of the bud layers and also bud stems, and I also cut 3 layers of the leaf cluster, just to switch it up a little bit for the final arrangement of this card. After all my die cut elements are cut, I'm going to bring in my 9x12 sticky mat grid. This is my favorite tool for ink blending on top of die cuts, and I like to arrange my die cuts in numerical order, starting from base layer number 1, working until whatever end layer there is found on the back of the Craft a Flower packaging, and I like to orient them in a way so that I can immediately stack all of the layers together. The top 2 arrow guides are for the more side-facing cosmos. The bottom 2 are for the more front-facing or open blooms. And then over on the bottom right quadrant, I've got the bud image. In the mix, I've also incorporated the flower centers. Again, and this is just for ease. After I color all of these petal elements, I can just grab all the layers in numerical order as they are supposed to be arranged, and staying organized this way just really helps keep things consistent throughout all of these die cuts. I drew a little bit of inspiration from the cosmos in my garden, but I'm going to switch up the color palette just a little bit. The ones I have in my garden are more of the the pink and fuchsia family of colors or inks, but instead I'll use rouge first. Rouge is from the Red Sunset family of inks, and I thought this orange-red combination would look really nice against the sapphire cardstock. And with a mini ink blending tool, I'm going to apply directional strokes starting from the tip of the petal and blending this color towards the center. So it's not so much of a diffused sort of soft blend. There's some strokes that you see from the brush, and I'm following the curvature of the etched lines of each of the petals. So instead of like a scrubbing motion or a swirling motion of the brush, it's almost like I'm applying feathered strokes from the tip of the petal towards the center of the flower, and it's something that I usually don't do if you watch my Perfect Pairing series on my channel or on the Altenew channel. But I wanted to stay true to the natural beauty of the cosmos flowers. So again, I just really want a lot of movement and texture on these petals. So again, this is Rouge Fresh Dye ink, and I'm applying this color in a directional stroke. I want a lot of concentration of this ink on the tip of the petals, and I definitely want to leave a large open white space in the center of the flower. And then for the bud images, I'll do the same thing. So on the bud tip, I'll apply rouge cardstock and leave less of a white open space. You know, it's a new flower. The colors are not quite developed yet. And in the end, once all of this is layered for the bud image, you won't really see the base of the petals. So again, I did this for both up arrow, keyhole alignment, and the 2 bud images. And now I'm going to move down to my next value of ink, which is going to be Grapevine. Grapevine is from Red Cosmos, coincidentally, Fresh Dye ink set. And instead of using a mini ink blending tool, this time I'll use the number 5 detail blending brush. This is an angled tip, which is going to give me a little bit more control of where this color goes. Similar to what I was doing before, again, these are directional strokes. I'm starting from the tip of the petal sort of off and onto the 9x12 sticky mat grid and blending that color towards the center of the flower. The etched lines on the petals give me some sort of direction and indication of where I should apply this color, so I'm just following that curvature. It's so easy to create movement with those etched lines. And aside from applying this color on the very tips of the petals, I also want to barely outline the outside of the petals. Again, if you're looking at reference images of Cosmos with the more white centers, you'll see that this is sort of what they look like. Applying these details shouldn't take long at all. Again, I'm doing this on just the petal images, and I love that as I apply these directional strokes with the detail blending brush, that I'm getting some depth as well within the etching. So it just really lends itself, it really mimics that nice velvety and rippled texture of the Cosmos flowers. They're some of my favorite to color with ink or with artist markers, just because you can achieve a lot of texture and movement in the petals. I'll let the petal layers dry back a little bit and work on the flower centers real quick. I'm just going to use Espresso Fresh Dye ink. Espresso comes from the Coffee Break Fresh Dye Ink family, and I'm applying just a slight shadow to the base of these flower centers, so I get a little bit of depth and movement as well in the center of the flower. And I used a mini ink blending brush to apply that color. I did let a little bit of time pass before applying some glue to the flower centers so I can start assembling these layers. You'll see I like to apply glue to the entire row and then just grab and stack. So I'm aligning the opening of the arrows in this case to each other, starting from the base layer, working up to layer number 4, I think, for all of the petals. And again, the reference guide found on the back of the Craft a Flower packaging is going to be an indispensable tool for making sure that you get all of these images lined up correctly. And Cosmos are just so easy to align. Cosmos have a natural symmetrical quality about them. All 8 petals seem to radiate from an equal distance from the center in a perfect circle and in a perfect cup. Then I'll move down to the keyhole alignment images, applying a row of ink to just the open areas or this centerpiece to the Cosmos flower, aligning the flower center, and then covering that alignment guide with the flower center. I'll let all the open flower images dry. Then I can work on the bud images as well as the foliage since they go together. I cut this foliage cluster 3 times. I might use pieces later on in the rest of the card, which is why I have an odd number grouping of this foliage arrangement this time. Again, this is cut from moss cardstock, and to just slightly deepen the foliage on the Cosmos leaves, Sugar Kelp comes from Mediterranean Glow Fresh Dye Ink set, and I'm going to swipe this color in a blended fashion starting from the base of the leaves up to the tips with a mini ink blending tool. And because these leaves are so fine, I'm not concerned about how well my gradient looks. It's just to add some tonal variation throughout this arrangement of flowers and leaves once I get everything assembled. So I'll do that for all 9 leaf layers that I have, as well as the bud images. And then I can finish the gluing and assembly of the bud image following the layering guide, again found on the bottom right portion of the Craft a Flower packaging, to create these 2 beautiful bud images from Craft a Flower Garden Cosmos. So now comes the meticulous part of arranging this bouquet. Usually I like to create some asymmetrical arrangements, but I wanted a little bit more control. I thought that the Stamp Wheel 2.0 flip plate for its larger size would fit nicely on my Altenew Crafter's Essential cutting mat. And I'm using the radial lines, the ones that come out from the center of the card, to help just give me a visual placement of where all of these elements should go. Now, you can certainly eyeball it, but I thought this tip would help those of you who like a little bit of perfection when it comes to creating your cards. So what I'm doing is I align the Stamp Wheel 2.0 flip plate to the A2 portrait alignment lines found on the cutting mat. And then on top of that, I'll put my embossed Cozy Sweater 3D embossing folder panel and center this panel onto the flip plate. I used a little bit of satin masking tape on the back just to hold it all down and keep this panel from moving as I glue down my elements. So typically I start with the focal elements or the floral elements first, and then I find the placement for my sentiment. But because I know I want my sentiment to be directly on the center of this card, I'm going to actually start with this first. So I stacked 2 layers of the 1/8 inch by 1/2 and the 1/4 wide instant dimension foam tape to stack up the sentiments. So that's the grateful and for your kindness sentiments, and centered this group in the center of the Cozy Sweater embossed panel background. Then it took me a second to find the right arrangement that I wanted for this card front. I started from one top corner and tried to mimic that arrangement on the opposite corner. looking for reference lines along the stamp wheel flip plate just to give me some guidance. But what I found is going to be the most helpful to getting these perfect and exact is I arranged one cluster and used a little bit of satin masking tape to gently hold the 2 open flowers and the 1 bud image from one grouping. And I did remove a lot of the tack from the tape by touching the tape to the back of my hand quite a lot. And then once I've got one grouping down, I applied instant dimension foam tape to the back. This is the thinner one, the 1/16 inch thick by 1/2 inch wide instant dimension foam tape. And I only applied these to like the flower center areas. And I didn't remove the adhesive backing yet. I just wanted to get these stuck together before I bring them to my card front. And then, while this cluster is still taped with the satin masking tape, I'll grab the remaining duplicate images, so the side-facing, open-facing, and bud image, and align them on top. So I'll layer them just so that they are in the exact same place as the other one. Again, another piece of satin masking tape to hold the cluster together, and then I'll use instant dimension foam tape to get those raised off my background. And now my clusters are grouped in the exact same way. But then this is where I use the radial lines on the flip plate again, is I'm actually looking at the Cosmos bud and I'm looking at the radial lines to make sure that they're in the exact same place on my card front once I remove the release paper from the foam tape. And I'm picking this arrangement just to continue to play with the symmetry and the natural beauty, the geometric order of the Cosmos flowers. And once I peel the release paper from the foam tape, and my floral clusters are in the exact radial symmetry on my card front, then I'll start in to fill in the spaces with the Cosmos leaves. Now the Cosmos leaves, because of their more fenestrated or open appearance, I'm not so concerned about getting them exact using the flip plates. So I'm just using a visual guide to making sure that they're roughly in the same space. And I'm just using liquid glue to tuck in the Cosmos stems underneath the floral clusters. I kind of created this somewhat wreath or circular arrangement of the Cosmos leaves, just trying to fill in the space of the background. And then with the remaining 3 pieces that don't have a duplicate to them, I just ripped them apart and tuck them to fill in open areas around the sentiment, just to make the center of the card appear more full and fully enveloped and cradle the sentiment in the center of the card. I also used a few fragments to hide behind the flowers just to break up the white highlight that's happening on the bottom left and the top right corners. But then after that, I'm going to embellish this card with pure white ink spray and an Altenew fine water brush. For arrangements like these that are exact and symmetrical, I feel like Splatter like this with its disorderly arrangement helps harmonize the orderly arrangement of the Cosmos flowers and all of my focal elements and foreground elements of this card. And then I can do the same with the dazzling diamonds, Altenew stellar sequins. I'll use a nice enamel-based glue to hold down all of these sequins and pick them up really easily with the wax tip of the Perfect Picker from Altenew to create some beautiful shine throughout this card. So that finishes this arrangement using Craft a Flower Garden Cosmos die set. If you're subscribed to the Altenew Craft a Flower subscription, or you're thinking of picking this up for yourself, make sure you tap into the natural and symmetrical beauty of the Cosmos flower. After all, that's what they mean. Not only is the Cosmos flower the October birth flower, because it aligns with Libra's sign of pursuit of balance and justice, the Cosmos flower is also great for those times you need peace and tranquility for any of those card occasions, sympathy cards, thank you cards, thinking of you cards. They're an all-around versatile floral arrangement to incorporate on any of your Altenew projects. My series encourages you to shop your existing Altenew stash and rekindle their love with newer releases. Perfect Pairings with Jaycee airs on the Altenew channel every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Perfect Pairing episode with me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Wait, we have more where that came from. If you're after fabulous card making tutorials, you are definitely in the right spot. Our amazing design team create and upload fabulous video tutorials right to this YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss another amazing crafting tutorial, don't forget to subscribe and click that fun red button that you can see. Let's become paper crafting experts together.